All right, Shalom. Call halal Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Rakah Hakwadash, double honors unto my apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who have taught me this truth, peace, love, and salutation unto the hopeful elect, kings and priests who are out there bringing out this word in all sincerity and in all truth. Brother Amawan from the Great Millstone branch, Los Angeles, Southern California, back here with another lesson this night. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahawashi. It's 7:50 p.m. Today's date is April 11th, 2024. Another lesson. Lord willing, this is an edifying lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahawashi. As you brothers and sisters see here in the title, Jesus' real name is Yahawashi, and he's a so-called black man. Truth over feelings. And I have two links here I'd like to share with you brothers and sisters with what has already come to light, what's already been known, okay, to come to the forefront, because what's in the darkness, it will come to light. But in these times, in 2024, with everything happening and the Lord just revealing everything, come to find out, you had the president of Vladimir Putin. He went in his vote because our people did at a time rule Europe during the so-called Dark Ages. All right, but he went into his parchments, his artifacts, and unveiled what the angels look like, what the Son of the Heavenly Father look like. Now, this could be fake, it could be real, but the bottom line is, America is ruled by Satanists, okay? And they put themselves up as the Son of God. And you got Putin over there, all right, telling the whole world, all right, the prophets were black, so-called black, Salakia. The prophets were black, all right, so-called black. They were dark-skinned, and they were all dark-skinned. They wasn't white, so-called white people. When you read in the scriptures, they're not white people. All right, these are actually the 12 tribes of Israel, which were scattered, all right, amongst the Gentiles. Okay, it's not talking about anybody else. It's talking about our people, the so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. So, Lord willing, this is an edifying lesson. I'm gonna start by opening up this link here, and because this is a old TikTok video, but it's a oldie but goodie. But a lot of brothers and sisters may not see it, may have not saw it before. But I'm gonna play it here and then go in the scriptures and close this video out. And Lord willing, this is edifying. But here it is.
So this is
and another thing too, this is only for educational purposes. This is not to make any money. I'm not selling anything to make any type of money. All I'm doing is uploading the video. Okay, that's it. That's that's it, and that's all. Ain't no none of that is going on, because you got dudes, none of that is going on. But anyways, here's the link.
15th century manuscripts. Sometimes, it's amazing that, people in the 15th century, were they, aware of color? All the saints, even the Virgin, is painted black. Even today, you don't find such paintings in churches, always, a bright color, not black color. So it has to be studied very well, this type of documents. Look, even the evangelist, this is Matthew,
Look how big those eyeballs were. I'm gonna play it again. Look how big the depiction, not play it again, but look how big those eyes were Our people got those big eyeballs, you know. They didn't have no Canon electronics back then. They actually wrote and painted, descriptions. And this is what the likening was. They were brown-skinned prophets, okay? Israelites, none else, not white people, all right? We learned throughout the American history that our people were, our people were slaves. We came over here, we didn't know who we are, but now we know who we are. The 15th century, we ruled back then. And this is when a time, okay, when Esau, he had his little reign, but then we took over, okay, during the dark ages. But anyways, just go here in Revelations, the first chapter, starting at the 13th verse, because the point of the lesson is, you know what? Instead of breaking down Yahawashi, let's jump to Acts, because in Acts it tells you that Paul was mistaken for being an Egyptian, dark-skinned. Now, when you look at these, like the video just played, all right, the so-called Virgin Mary and everybody else, the apostles, and Yahawashi, he didn't just have 12 apostles. He had more than 12. He had more than 70. He had more than 500 that seen him. A lot believed on Yahawashi, and we pray that we are those same spirits coming back, confessing the truth before the whole world. This is what it means when it says that we have confessed a great profession before many witnesses. This is our job. This is a job. Everybody else got a job to do. A prophet, we got a job too, and that's declaring the truth. And nothing is more stronger than the truth. But here it is in Acts 21 and 28. This is Acts 21 and 28. It says, starting at 27, Acts 21 and 27, and when the 7 days were almost ended, the Jews which were of Asia, when they saw him in the temple, stirred up all the people and laid hands on him, crying out, Men of Israel, help! This is the man that teacheth all men everywhere against the people and the law in this place, and further brought Greeks also into the temple and have polluted this holy place. So like this is in this is the wrong one. Hold on. This is it. Oh no. Actually, that's exactly where I wanted to start from. I'm gonna just keep reading down because it leads into the point. It says, because Paul, and these wasn't white people. That's another thing. These wasn't white people, Greeks. These were actually Hellenized Jews who conformed unto the Greekish tongue, who conformed unto, and not just Greeks, because these Greeks were also, they had all types of tongues. They were speaking Greek, Latin, they were the Arabic tongue, they were speaking all types of languages, but they all went back to Israel by their bloodline, by their spirit, and that's what our people wasn't agreeing with. That's another topic too. Well, not even another topic. It stays on the topic because it's been disproved now by the prophets that these Greeks are not white people. Okay, we just showed it in the video. It says, and further brought Greeks also in the temple and have polluted this holy place, because they thought that they weren't a part of the covenant, and that they were, just because they didn't grow up in the fashions that they were raised, of Pharisees and the scribes, they were cast off, But it goes on to say, for they had seen before with him in the city triumphus, which the word triumphus means nutritious, an Ephesian whom they supposed that Paul had brought into the temple. And it's spiritual how that city is called triumphus, meaning nutritious, because the Lord had fruit there, The Lord had much fruit in the city of Ephesians. It's all spiritual, but it says, and all the city was moved, and the people ran together, and they took Paul and drew him out of the temple, and forthwith the doors were shut. And as they went about to kill him, tidings came unto the chief captain of the band that all Jerusalem was in an uproar, who immediately took soldiers and centurions and ran down unto them. And when they saw the chief captains and the soldiers, they left beating of Paul. Then the chief captain came near and took him and commanded him to be bound with 2 chains, and demanded who he was and what he had done. And some cried one thing, some another, among the multitude. And when he could not, know the certainty for the tumult, he commanded him to be carried into the castle. And when he came upon the stairs, so it was that he was borne of the soldiers for the violence of the people, for the multitude of the people followed after, crying, away with him. They were trying to put Paul to death, man. But here's the point. And as Paul was to be led into the castle, he said unto the chief captain, May I speak unto thee? Who said, Canst thou speak Greek? Are not thou that Egyptian, which before these days made us an uproar and led us out into the wilderness 4,000 men that were murderers? But those murderers repented. Paul didn't lead. They were calling Paul a ringleader. They were saying all types of things. But Paul spoke Greek, but he was mistaken. His line. All right, he was mistaken for an Egyptian because he was dark skinned. Are not that Egyptian? Because Matazarium, that's what Egyptian means, are known to be dark skinned. Okay, so you got to understand what it means, because Paul was what? A Hebrew of the Hebrews. Why is he calling him an Egyptian? Why is he calling him an Egyptian? But Paul is calling himself a Hebrew of the Hebrews. We know Paul was from the tribe of Benjamin. Come on now. If you put the pieces together, it makes sense. It says, Are not thou that Egyptian which before these days made us an uproar and led us out into the wilderness 4,000 men that were murderers? But Paul said, I am a man which am a Jew of Tarsus, a city in Cilicia, if I'm mispronouncing the word wrong, Cilicia, a citizen of no mean city, and I beseech thee, suffer me to speak unto the people. And when he had given him silence, Paul stood on the stairs and beckoned with the hand unto the people. And when there was made a great silence, he spoke unto them in the Hebrew tongue, saying, So the Hebrews are dark-skinned people. Let's play this video again. The Hebrews are dark-skinned people. Paul was a Hebrew of the Hebrews from the tribe of Benjamin. He was not an Egyptian. The dude called him Egyptian, but they knew Paul, what he preached. They knew what Paul was about, what he was on that pulpit saying. You just have to the devil's not going to put it all out there for you. You gotta understand what thou readest, that at the end of the day, do the spirit and power Yahawashi Yahawashi. But let's play this again.
So this is 15th century manuscript. Sometimes, it's amazing that, people in the 15th century, were they, aware of color? All the saints, even the Virgin, is painted black.
See?
Even today, you don't find such paintings in churches, always, a bright color, not black color. So it has to be studied very well,
he said all of the saints, they're all
even
black.
The evangelists,
they're not bright color. Because we've been raised our whole life to think that, okay, the Heavenly Father's Son is white, God is white, Our whole life, since we came, into this world, we Esau has put himself up as the son of God, and we know what the scriptures say about that. He the one that opposes himself above all that is called God. That's him. But there's books and artifacts and statues and of us of color. You know, Putin was he was saying like it's not about, which he's a devil too, but they all going down, man. And the truth is, at the end of the day, they all going down, and the truth is being exposed. And we've been known this because the Lord given us the unction to know all things before any president brought anything out, you know. But once the Lord shows up and that's man, that's when it's over for Esau, man, because they not going they still gonna deny it either way it go. But let's read what the scriptures say here in Revelations 1:13 about the description of our Lord. All right, because he's not Caesar Borgia, all right, son of Alexander the sixth of Rome, okay, which is a reincarnation of who was that? Not Septim. What's his name? I go back into it. Lord willing, I may touch on that because the Caesar Borgia character is just a remix throughout history over and over again. But this is Revelations 1, the chapter 1, starting at Salakia, I'm in 13. This is Revelations 1. I don't know why I was assuming Revelations 13 and went up at 1. But this is Revelations 1 and 12. And I turned to see the voice that spake with me, and being turned, I saw the 7 golden candlesticks. In the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire. Okay, Yahawashi had woolly hair. Okay, what nation of people on earth have that curly, woolly hair like a sheep? The so-called Negroes do. The so-called Mexicans do. The so-called Brazilians do. But mainly the tribe of Judah. Okay, Benjamin, the tribe of Benjamin does. We all have woolly hair because we all come from the waters of Judah. But it's mainly Judah. Okay, but all the tribes got woolly hair. Okay, but it makes me think when I think about that. The reason why I laugh because I'm thinking about a Northern Kingdom brother, man, a beloved brother. Hey, man, he showed me his high school picture. Big old afro, amber afro, Issachar, but it's a woolly afro, So all the tribes, because we come from what? The waters of Judah, but Yahawashi had that woolly hair, as white as snow, like his father, which represents wisdom and understanding, okay? Because he's the son of the Ancient of Days, all right? And his eyes were as a flame of fire, because we know Yahawashi, when he came on this earth, he drank wine. Okay, that was a pleasure he loved to do, because that's one of the things that copes with your infirmities. There's nothing better. There's not King Solomon, which is Yahawashi. He said, "There's not a better thing on earth to do, but for a man to eat and to drink and to be merry." Yahawashi was known as a gluttonous and a winebibber. Not no Hancock image, how Esau tries to portray. He's shooting at Yahawashi in silence, but that's not how Yahawashi was. Okay, Yahawashi knew how to. Come on now, man. Damn devil. He's shooting in secret. But anyways, because that's the Hancock. When you watch that movie, that's Yahawashi, man. But that's Yahawashi. Who else they gonna get a black man flying and he's drinking and. But that movie, the woman and shit, it goes in the Hollywood shit. But anyways, his head and his hairs were white like wool. That's white as snow, verse 14. And his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burn in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. Right? Because if you put brass in a furnace, a hot furnace is going to turn what? Darker brown. Okay, and Yahawashi was a dark-skinned man. Okay, as we saw in the visuals. And look what these Europeans are doing in Europe. They look what they're doing. Europeans burning Bibles in America after finding out everyone is of color. Everyone is of color, man. This is our book. This ain't their book, man. This is our company. This ain't their book. This is not their book.
Wilson County deputies were called out
This is
to
our
the intersection of
forefathers,
Old Lebanon
Look
Dirt
at
Road
that.
and Chandler Road. Mount Juliet police and firefighters also came. After the fire was put out, deputies discovered the trailer had Bibles inside. They believe the trailer was dropped off in the middle of the intersection and intentionally set on fire.
We've had people do things to our building. We've been vandalized a number of times. Hence, we have to have security, but never a Bible trailer. 200 Bibles being burned. That's a pretty rebellious statement, towards a church. But again, we're just going to keep moving forward.
Anyone with information or additional camera footage of the incident is asked to contact the Wilson County Sheriff's Office.
See, this is where the truth begins to come out. Right or wrong, y'all. I just made a video about the people in Europe destroying the Bible simply because they know that all the disciples, all the angels, and Jesus, and God is black. And now, 5 states, all white people, burning the Bible. The Bible fulfilling itself, man. Separating the wheat from the chaff. Right here, think about this. Think about this. You got 5 states worth of white people burning Bibles, turning on God. You got Europe turning on God. China turning on God. Right? Everybody's turning against the black community. Now that they know for 100% who God's real chosen people are, they pissed. This is a time, and I'm not saying all non-melanated people. It is some non-melanated people out there that they love God no matter what color he is. They love God and people because of who they are. But now, after so many have turned, you mean to tell me we got to try to separate and find y'all? That 2%, that's some decent white folk. We got to sit here and try to go through 500 million just to find y'all few? This is some deep stuff here. I mean, let me tell you something. This has to be deep-seated, rooted evil and hatred for American citizens to turn on God and burn the Bible simply because he was black. Y'all know 90% of y'all black folks, y'all work with these people. Y'all bet y'all call some of these people friends.
Yeah.
They've been smiling in y'all faces all of these years because they've been under the impression and notion that Jesus is white. Here's the problem. When they found out the truth, they turned on God and now they secretly hate you even more. Separate yourselves. Can you imagine the lynchings they're going to try to pull? The murders and everything. Think about this. If they're willing to burn the Bibles, they're willing to slaughter and murder, stay gunned up and be ready to smoke one and at the drop of a hat. That's some evil stuff, G. You talking about they turning on God and they doing it in a public manner simply because they found out the man is black?
Yep. So there you have it. There you have it. Yahawashi is the man that rideth upon a horse that had a name that no man knew. They don't know about Yahawashi. Only the elect knows about Yahawashi. They don't worship him, you know. Let me find that. He had a name. This is Revelations 19 and 11. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he does judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. Right? We already went over with the flame of fire, what the eyes represented. Because also, too, on a side note, let me I go past that. And on his head were many crowns, representing Yahawashi conquering all the nations. Okay, the beast, the Babylon the Great. All right, this kingdom is not going to prevail when Yahawashi comes. So all those crowns Yahawashi is going to put on him, because when the king conquers, he takes crowns, man. You know, he takes crowns, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself, because this whole world, they don't know about Yahawashi. You know, only the elect knows about Yahawashi. Or that's why they're burning the Bibles. Jake's still friends with Edomites. You know, like, you got to separate yourself from your enemy. Yeah, you know, you be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove with Esau, Edom. But at the same time, you got to understand who your enemy is, Jake. It says, verse 13, and he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of the Most High. Because when Yahawashi come, he ain't playing. He laying shit down. Okay? He's going to be a... Oh my, it's not even going to be, it's not a word that can describe what Yahawashi is going to come do. You know, there's not a word I can describe. You know, we see what Edris saw in the writings, what he described, like, it's like, yo. And then Yahawashi having blood dipped on his vesture, which represents the amount of killing and destruction he's going to be doing, not actual blood getting on him. You know. People take that in literal. No, that's not what that's talking about. But it's out there. The angels, all right. We're here in verse 14, as we keep going on, and the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. These are the different shades of brown skinned angels that is riding with Yahawashi. Okay. They not no babies in the sky, man. Straight up and down, man. They're not babies in the sky floating. Okay, that's not what's going on. That's blasphemy of what Esau Edom did. Okay, that's straight up blasphemy. Esau, he tried to say that the angels were babies. Think about that, man. That's crazy as hell. And the angels are strong. They're real tall. He called them babies, man. Like, think about how blasphemous that is. And then he said that it just goes on. He's the opposition. He's the mystery of iniquity. All right, and this is the man right here. And the armies which were in heaven follow him, verse 14, upon white horses, which represents the chariots, clothed in fine linen, white and clean, and out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of the almighty power. That sharp sword is that concentrated fire coming out of those chariots. All right, that with it he should smite the nations. What nations? Who Yahawashi is coming to fight against? The beast, the great whore, right? And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, because that's what a king has, a scepter. All right? And he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness of the wrath of the almighty power, because that's what you do, all right, when you crush grapes to make wine. There's going to be a lot of spilling to the horse's bridle. Verse 16, and he have on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. All right? So this is Yahawashi, a so-called black man, all right, who they crucified our people 2,000 years ago, the 2/3. All right, you niggas. All right, Yahawashi is about to come back, man. And everybody that pierced him, that he gonna show himself to be true. All right, because the records is true. All right, we got the testimony. All right, he's alive. I'm gonna end it with that, which is and which was and which is to come, which is, because he's on his way back, and the truth is being revealed. You devils is on your way out. You so-called white people, yeah, you listening to all our videos. It don't matter from what brother, from the top to the lowest rank. All you devils is listening, and you all being condemned through the airways, man. You know, and this is your judgment. You all going down, man. You know who the Heavenly Father and His Son is. Okay, this whole CERN shit. All right, because this is what the whole internet goes through. You know, you devils are going. You on your way out, and you trembling. You know, but close it out with this. This is concern. They get the internet. That's where you get the internet from, through the CERN, and all this is all linked, man. They all know. They watching. You know, it's an eye in the sky, like that rapper Rex said. It's an eye in the sky. Michael Jackson said, "I got a feel." He said, "I got a feeling that somebody's watching me." You know, these devils are watching us, but much more, the Lord is watching His ass, man. You know, the Lord watching His ass, man. You know, this devil think he watching us. The Lord watching you. The eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, man. You know, beholding all things, man. You dust, yo. And the Lord gonna dust your ass off the planet. You know? This is it here. And where is this at? Gotta close it out. Here it is. The Wadi Yahawashi. Yup. Bear with me, Akyam. Walk. This is which was. Here it is. The Wadi Yahawashi. This is Revelations 1 and 8. I'm going to start at 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, Amen. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending, saith the Lord, which is, and which was, and which is to come, the Almighty. All right, so Yahawashi, we read about him, what he did when he walked the earth. He rose the dead. Okay. He caused the storm to calm down when he crossed sea with his disciples, and he told them that they were going to cross, and they didn't believe him. You know, and the sea rose up. He did all types of things. The scriptures say that where is it written that he did so many things that the earth itself can't even contain. You know, so we know that we just reading only that's a spark of the Lord's work. We only seeing a little bit of what he has done, you know. So it says again, verse 8, I am the Alpha, meaning the beginning, and the Omega, the end. So like it, just read it for what it says. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending, saith the Lord, which is, and which was, and which is to come, the Almighty. Okay, so Yahawashi is on his way back, man. Ain't you know, he's on his way back, and he's a so-called black man. So-called black man, you know, from the tribe of Judah. You know, from the tribe of Judah. Did I finish in I think going back to Revelations 1:15. I don't think I got finished that verse. Just go back to it real quick. Revelations 1:15. His feet like unto fine brass, as if they burn in a furnace, and his voice has the sound of many waters. Yeah, I didn't get the voice of, and his voice has the sound of many waters. I think I went over that part. But as we all know, Yahawashi spoke with a very loud voice. Okay, he spoke with a very loud voice. He projected his voice. It was accounts where Yahawashi had to get pushed in the middle of the sea to speak on everybody on the seashore. That's how loud he was able to speak real loud. But I'm going to end it there. Call Yahweh by Hashem Yahawashi by Hashem Rakakwadash. Till next one I say Shalom.